What's up, guys? It's D1B Universe, and this is gonna be Miraculous Ladybug episode 23. From what I've been getting to right now, I'm getting relatively close to the end. I hate the fact that I had to move up a certain episode so I can apparently understand what goes on in these rapid successions of episodes, because it gives me a false hope whenever I get these last two episodes that is in front of me right now. But then I remembered, oh right, there's like four or so other episodes right above me. Not to mention the two that I refused to download until I finished this, so I wouldn't accidentally watch them, just in case something like this happened. So for those of you who don't believe that I don't plan things out ahead, there you go on that regard. Everything else, however, is fair game. So this is going to be episode 23. I'm just going to get started in right now. So head off and link in the description below for the Google Drive, and we'll just see this. Because as soon as I get done with this, the faster I can get done with Star vs. Forces of Evil. And I've been kind of missing that series, and it's gotten a lot more episodes nowadays. 3, 2, 1 now. I'm gonna post this episode last, and I'm gonna put this in the beginning, and this is gonna be last episode right next to the origin story, because this is the episode that pretty much defines everything for me, unless the other episodes are actually bar none better than this episode. However, this seems like end show material because of all the different things that happened, and now all the things I get to talk about, because this is like this is one of the best moments of this show's time, because it opens up so many different possibilities. This is the first episode that I got to see that the vendetta is toward Adrian's dad. And for the longest time, I thought Adrian's dad was Hawkmoth because, one, the voices sound kind of similar, but we all know there's like a bit of a tone shift in their voices whenever they change. Slight appearance changes, and there would have to be a reason to give Hawkmoth a design that involves him hiding his face and all the other features that would obviously give him away, unlike Cat Noir and Ladybug, who clearly have their hair in full display, and it's not that hard to figure out whether or not they are another person or this person, with slight hair variations in certain regards. However, this is the first time it was directed toward him, and this was the first time I got to see Hawkmoth was like, are you sure you want to do this? I'm not entirely sure. But the only thing is to explain is, how could Hawkmoth be over there while simultaneously taking on this guy as well? Because he was at the ready. He's like, ooh, this is a show where someone's going to get disappointed. I'm going to be ready for this thing. Yeah, I'll just open up already. I'm going to wait for it. And then you got Adrian's dad. He goes up and says, oh, hypnotism is stupid. I'm going to rewatch that scene because I want to see if there's one thing I can see about that scene that is weird. I'm going to cut it out if it takes too long, as per usual. After rewatching it, at first I was going to go with the theory that it was a recording and he was just immediately going to turn it off anyway. But it's too long of a pause for him to just sit there for a while, then answer his question almost as if he's actually there. So that was actually Mr. Regress. So the only things that really point him toward being Hawkmoth at these points is that as soon as Cat Noir and Ladybug get out of the room and you're like, get to a safe place and stuff like that, he turns. There's this one completely awkward moment where he is just he turns around and looks at the picture, and it's just completely dead silent. It's like this is the secret area that he goes to get inside that domain, get inside of his domain. And as soon as he went in there, he turned into Hawkmoth and it did his little mind reading transfer thing to tell him, you should stop this, maybe this isn't a good idea. And then he's like, no, I got this, I can do it, and stuff like that. And there's no reason why they would show these little things, but the only thing about it is all this different stuff is a lot different. This is the first time I'm seeing the interaction with Ladybug, a person who literally likes Adrian but cannot tell him she likes him for the obvious reasons, such as superhero and all that stuff. And the fact that even though she's a superhero now, she's not. She doesn't have enough courage to still do it, even if she's like that, which wouldn't be a good idea because it will also give away her identity. But Adrian is also with Ladybug, the person he really likes. Only when he's Cat Noir, he's not afraid to really express those emotions and feelings. However, Ladybug continues to push that away. Now, these two interacting with one another is great on the level of this is how big the love towards them really is, how he really cares about her, no matter if she's Cat Noir or Adrian, and Ladybug finally acting flustered toward the guy that has been around her for the longest of time, and yet it's because he's not wearing the geist that he has is why she's being nervous, and this is adorable. I like that. Now, as for Mr. Aggress and his over creepiness, there you can write his actions of saying, you have beautiful earrings, by the way. Mind if I, as creepy in any way, shape, or form, but you can also take it as in, yeah, he's kind of like Hawkmoth, and he's trying to get Miraculous while also not blowing his original cover, which is Adrian's dad. And when he got to Cat Noir, he's starting to see signs that he's exactly like his son when it comes to the outbursts, exactly like this and like that. And then when he shook his hand, that was both scary and also a time of realization for him. He took it, and it's almost as if he's going to try to grab his hand and while also taking off the ring. But as he's looking at it, he's noticing it, and as soon as he goes to Adrian, his son, and he notices the ring on his finger, he's like, I never noticed that. Those are in details that are so defined, it's like you gotta take something out of that. And this is the moment where he's looking at the painting. It's so weird. He's looking at it just like, huh. And the painting, by the way, is his wife. I'm gonna get to that later. I'm gonna get to everything that I can talk about right now and get to the final theory, and what's probably like the most deafening theory that I possibly have for this is that he's looking at the painting. He's like, this could be the hideout place that he actually goes. And because as soon as you look at it, after the transition of seeing him trying to break into the house, you get Hawkmoth. And he's like, let me re-watch what he says. The main thing to take out of that scene, is the fact that every single time we cut to Hawkmoth, he is standing in that exact area he is always stands in. All the time. There is not a single moment where he's pacing around the area. There's not a single moment where he's in a corner of the room. He's always in the dead center doing his thing. However, how is this the first time he is walking into the area? He is literally walking forward and talking, saying, this isn't a good idea. Just get the Miraculous side. Don't try to harm the dude. He didn't actually say that, but that's what he's trying to imply. He's trying to say, don't let your attention go toward that guy. Go strictly toward their Miraculous. And granted, in certain episodes, he's like, don't go to your main reason why you're an Akuma now. Don't do that. Go for Miraculous side. However, this seemed more personal to him. Just the main thing that's bugging me is, why is he walking forward? If he's in that area, and we've never seen him do this before, why is he walking forward now? Because he's just entering the room, because he knows he needs to be in this area to talk to him, so he would not get caught if he did it in that same area that he was in before. Especially if they got into the room when he was like that. So, with that being said, we continue moving forward with the final confrontation with the Riddler. I mean, Simon Says. After getting him, he starts acting like a butterfly and stuff, which is very pathetic for a person that I believe is Hawkmoth. They get to him, and the Lucky Charm is a yo-yo. And first it's weird because she already has a magical yo-yo, then he makes the magical yo-yo null. And then she used the original yo-yo to do get what she needs. And this is one of the first times, I don't know if this is the only time this has happened, but this is one of the first times that I saw her use something that a Lucky Charm related thing gave to her, and didn't use her sixth sense, I like to call it. She looks at stuff and just like, this is what I need to do, this is what I need to do, this is what I need to do. If I bounce out off that, if I bounce out of this, alright, this is what happens. No, she just uses the Lucky Charm, aka the yo-yo, regularly, just with like the final bout. And this seemed a lot more dramatic than usual. Like, really, even the moment where she is doing the epic flips and taking out Roger Cobb, the illustrator, Lady Wi-Fi, the Puppeteer, and Cat Noir all at the same time. Even that wasn't as dramatic as this scene. This seemed too dramatic for a moment of taking out a villain. Especially if they didn't even put too much emphasis on the fact that he's about to jump off a building. That Adrian's dad is about to jump off a building. The last thing to know about is, it's very interesting to know, that she can throw as long as the Akuma's thing is broken, she can throw the Lucky Charm in the air and fix everything, thus also fixing her yo-yo, because without the yo-yo, you can't really purify the Akuma. Which is another thing I didn't need to bring up. Why is it that I need to know more about? Hopefully, this kind of gets explained in the origin story. Please tell me this gets explained in the origin story. I guess I'll find out because I'll get to this by the time you reach this episode. At least I hope so, because of my scheduling and whatnot. But why is it that Miraculous Ladybug? Why is she the only one with the capabilities of purifying purifying the Akuma? Because we never once seen Cat Noir be able to do it. So it's likely to know that he does not have the capability. And Ladybug is probably the primary Miraculous, and it's important to have her around because without her, the Akumas can always be around. And I was thinking those stories about Hawkmoth. Is he always the antagonist? Is this like a Link and Ganondorf kind of thing? That no matter how many generations go by and no matter how many incarnations there are, there will always be a Hawkmoth and there will always be a Ladybug. Because without the good, there will be no evil, or is it the other way around? Without the evil, there will be no good. It's just that they're the yin and yang. If there's a Ladybug, what would the Ladybug do without someone wreaking havoc? And that wreaking havoc seems to only be Hawkmoth. We have seen no one else try to be an antagonist besides Hawkmoth giving people's powers to be antagonists. They themselves are not antagonists. He's the person who does it. So if she has the capability of purifying the Akumas, so clearly it's like a Link and Ganondorf. Without the Link, there's no Ganondorf. And if there's a Ganondorf, there's a Link to take out the Ganondorf because that's how the cycle goes. But Cat Noir and possibly the other Miraculous side are out there that I've yet to see, which is very disappointing. Why put them in the title and tease me like that when you're not even going to show them a glimpse of where they are or who they are for? I would love to see other characters have those and whatnot. Miraculous Ladybug seems to be the primary Power Ranger. She's the Red Power Ranger or something like that. After doing this, saves Adrian's dad, and now the two major things that kind of proves to me that this guy, Adrian's father, I forgot his name, Adrian's dad, is this Hawkmoth, and I even going to give off a theory of what his goal is that, lastly, where was Hawkmoth at the end of this episode? You know how throughout all the reactions that I've been doing in this show, at the end of each and every episode, or at least in each and every failed attempt to get the Miraculous Eye, you always see Hawkmoth was like, blah, 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 I'm evil, I'll get you next time, Ladybug, and then dramatic closing of the window. But this time there wasn't that. This time he wasn't there. This time, why not do it this time? Is it because he's not there, and he's right here hugging his son, instead of cursing the names of the people who have failed him once again? Curse you, Perry the Platypus, all that nonsense. Is that the reason? Because that's what I'm going with. And the last theory that's going to go on this little reaction here, the last thing that's important to talk about, and I'm almost at least 85% sure this is what the case is. 85% sure, because they are pushing us a little bit too much. One, Adrian and his dad, they really seem to love wife/mother. Mother's dead. Hawkmoth, being Adrian's dad, knows that with the Miraculous Eye, powers can be bestowed upon them in some way, shape, or form. If harnessing this power can give you some sort of energy that can allow you to raise the dead, you, as a person of love and virtue, so much love, you make an entire giant picture that's full of beautiful designs in homage to her. Clearly, you have an agenda when you get these Miraculous Eye. Why is Hawkmoth after Miraculous Eye? Why does he care? Why does he want to be evil? What's his motivation? Why is he such a douche? That's just it. I need to know these. I have these questions that I need answers to because they're really freaking interesting. And that's a lot. That's all pretty much I gotta say. My theory for why they're putting so much emphasis on the mother mother/wife here is because something bad happened to her. She probably won't be dead. Maybe she's in a coma. Let's do the cop-out thing. She's kind of dead, but not dead. She's in a coma. Let's wake her up. She's been corrupted. She's a villain out there somewhere, and she's trying to find a way to save her. Some way, shape, or form, there has to be an inspiration and a motive for Hawkmoth, who he is, which I believe is Adrian's dad, and what his motivation is. Now, since I don't know the original order of this is episode 23 of Miraculous Ladybug that I got from Kiss Cartoons, alright? And I keep forgetting if there's 26 episodes or 25 episodes. If there's 25 episodes, then this would be the season for now, because the last 2 episodes are origin stories. But if there's one more episode after this, and Hawkmoth is doing his thing, then he didn't really put 2 and 2 together when he saw Cat Noir with the ring, and saw his son with the ring. That, or he doesn't care, and he's just going to do it the traditional way to not blow his cover, because whatever. In any sense, this has been one of the most interesting episodes I've seen, bar none, because of how much it broke the formula of the other episodes that I've got to see. This is like the episode that you see that is like pure something to think about. This is brain fuel for whatever is next to come, and I'm excited. I've been saying legitimately and legit a lot, because apparently that's a word that people have been saying nowadays. I'm not the only one who's been doing this. Markiplier, sorry to out him, Markiplier. I love Markiplier, but he did a 2-hour-long stream involving talking about Five Nights at Freddy's. If you took a drink for every time he said legitimately or anything legit-wise, you'd be dead by the time the first hour is up. And a lot of people have been using literally and legitimately a lot. I've noticed that, and that's weird. That is weird. Because I remember back in my old reaction days that I barely said legitimately or literally or anything like that. Is that a thing? Maybe South Park's gonna make fun of it. I don't know. But whatever. That's pretty much all I gotta say about this episode. It was great. 10 out of 10. This is 10 out of 10. Even the villain was not overshadowed by the other stuff to see, because Simon Says had a really interesting power. He had the power to make anything and anything. Yeah, even a yo-yo, like a yo-yo. He made anything and anyone basically do whatever he wants. He had elements of other villains in with some of the things that he did, making zombies like the Pharaoh, and also the Knight, making henchmen with his power. He can make anyone think of whatever he wants them to do, aka a gorilla with brute strength like a mug, even though I think that's his natural strength. And he went after a character that I never thought they'd actually get to, because I didn't think he would be around to actually trigger anyone. Because I thought he was Hawkmoth, so how could he trigger someone if he's Hawkmoth? Usually he waits for someone to get triggered by someone else. But in the end, whilst everyone has someone to go after in their time of being an Akuma, no one will ever beat Miss Blonde-haired Miss I'm always going to be a female dog, no matter what episode I'm in. So yeah, that's it. This was a good episode to talk about. And I want to post this episode out. Like, I'm gonna post this right next to the origin story, because to me this seems final material. And if it isn't, I don't care. I'm already mixing up the formula of how the episode's coming out anyway, so you might as well just deal with this one. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.